Hey, on the Towners, I'm standing in the shadow of the oldest structure in the Palm Beaches, the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse. It's been helping sailors navigate dangerous waters since the 1860s. But the story of the Palm Beaches starts long before that. How long, you ask? Well, let me introduce you to a few friends who have all the answers.
Most people don't know the history that's in this area, but you all do. Right?
We certainly
I can see it in your eyes.
You keep saying that.
I want to break this down. So, Elliot, can you talk to me about the cradle of Palm Beach County civilization? How did it begin?
When the Europeans arrived in the early 1500s, there were probably 500,000 indigenous peoples in Florida, First Nations. And now we name our regions after them. There were the Tequesta, the Calusa, there were the Timucuans, the Appalachee. So we name all these places after the Indian groups that we wiped out.
May I introduce William Jenkins Worth?
Oh, is he here?
He's very important to
please.
our conversation.
Yes.
So we're going to ask Mr. Elliot Kleinberg if he can connect William Jenkins Worth with the conversation that we just had as far as the Seminoles.
Challenge flag. That was challenge.
The Second Seminole War was the most vicious and the most unpopular. So the head of the U.S. forces was a fellow named William Jenkins Worth. And one day, Colonel Worth decided that he was tired of this war, so he unilaterally declared it over.
And they actually honored him in 1842 by naming the body of water that we call Lake Worth.
But just a few years later, in 1860, they were very busy up in Jupiter building the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse. That was our first European group of people to be here.
How old is the lighthouse?
It was built in 1860.
1860?
1860, yes.
Wow.
I'll let you do the math.
That's all right.
There's no math being done. This is a history table.
That's right.
But nobody told me we were doing
But
math.
Debbie, you have to tell Frank who built the Jupiter Lighthouse.
He actually didn't build it, but he did design it.
Who designed it?
George Meade. He was an architect, and he was down and visited the site, as did Robert E. Lee in the 1850s.
On the eastern seaboard, South Florida was the last region of pioneering, and that's approximately the same time.
Right, the same time period. We were the last frontier.